Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me. My name is Paul Messenger. I'm a strategic account manager with Milestone Systems, and I'm excited to be part of the Convergent Insight event and present to you one aspect of our open platform, which is video analytics, right? So Milestone works with lots of different leading technology partners to deliver solutions to our end customers. And video analytics have seen tons of changes over the past few years, especially out at the edge, right? So I'll start covering some of the camera side analytics from our platinum camera partners like Axis, Bosch, and Hanwha. I'll show how those are highlighted in our new search experience, and as well as show you some options from service-side partners that have been in the analytic game for 20 plus years and have seen huge improvements to their products as machine learning and AI have contributed. And the ability to leverage GPU to do the processing has really helped accelerate those solutions. So what you're seeing on screen is the Milestone Smart Client. This is the primary user interface for Milestone. We've got a demo system set up at our headquarters in Lake Oswego, Oregon. And where I'll start is with the camera side analytics from our partner Axis. So on board, most of their cameras now for free is called their Guard Suite. And what you can do with Fenceguard, for example, is set up a virtual perimeter and get alerts if objects of interest cross certain thresholds there. So you can see here on this particular camera, we've got a line drawn in the parking lot. Any vehicle moving left to right on across that line creates an automatic alarm, and then you can sync to the recorded video and even link multiple cameras to that. So, the goal is always to become proactive with your surveillance system and not reactive, which is still the majority of video's usage today. So leveraging some of these features to protect your property, get alerts, and automatically get to the times perimeters are breached helps you expand your capabilities. And again, included in Axis and easy to set up and event and alarm off of in Milestone. So going on from there, right, they've got Loitering Guard. Similar thing if you have problem areas on your campus or your facility where people dwelling would be a cause for concern, you can leverage their Loitering Guard. You can see the zone we've drawn in the Axis camera. You get to set the people and how long they're in the zone, and then you can see here as I jump through the different alarms, we can pull the bounding box from Axis and show you where the loitering object is being detected. So that ability to easily event an alarm off what the cameras are doing with their intelligent edge applications, and also our ability to display that metadata delivers more situational awareness to the operators using our two technologies. Moving from there, you've got Perimeter Defender. So this is a licensed product from Axis, but you get some better functionality. They actually wrote a plugin using our software development kit and our API to be able to do a live overlay of the area of interest, as well as this green icon here in the upper right, which is telling you the alarm state, right? Whether it's in an alarm state or a passive state. So if I click one of the alarms generated from Perimeter Defender, you can see our engineer, Chris Ferguson, here in the scene. I can rewind that video and you can kind of see the settings. So here we get a bounding box that goes around the person. If it was a vehicle, it's actually a blue box if you've got an exterior camera and you're looking at multiple targets. And then once he crosses the threshold, you'll see the alarm state go from green to red in the upper right, notifying that the loitering limit's been reached. And then you even get that little tail showing the direction of travel for the object of interest. So if it was a true Perimeter Defender application looking at a greater area, you could see where the breach happened and see the path the object of interest took. So that's what some of just the camera side things that we can do real time eventing and alarming with our partner Axis. So from there, I want to cover Bosch. So Bosch, some of the things we have set up in the demo site is people counting. So in this instance, we've drawn a line. Anybody moving left to right, once a third person has crossed that line, we get an alarm. So if you're trying to trigger occupancy flows or be alerted if a certain amount of people have entered an area in order to create a reaction, you can do that just leveraging Milestone and your Bosch cameras. And Bosch has a full suite of analytics available on their camera also includes line crossing, but the ability to not just do a line cross, but also add a color filter. So kind of an and or logic. So I only want to see when people crossing this line are wearing a certain color. So imagine you're a manufacturing facility. You're supposed to be wearing a yellow safety vest. If you're in certain areas, you could set up these alerts and alarms to better protect your people, make sure they're following the safety protocol. So those are some of the use cases for using the multiple options you can choose with some of our camera partners. So again, this is stuff that normally wouldn't be available without a server-side analytic running, without additional licensing and resources being needed. So the fact that it's included in many of their cameras for free, running completely at the edge, and easy to set up the event and the alarm and milestone makes it pretty unique. Also occupancy. So there's nobody in the office because of COVID. But if there are more than 2 people in this area, you could get alerts and know when and where you've got crowds or other occupancy limits that you're trying to enforce at your facilities. So moving there to Hanwha, also pretty robust amount of analytics running on the edge of their cameras. So we all know the pitfalls of motion-based recording, right? And setting up motion alerts. Say you've got a restricted area, nobody should be there during off hours. So, I know what I'll do. I'll set up an alert and alarm. So if there's motion in that area, I'll generate an alarm after hours. But with lighting changes, shadows, all sorts of challenges come with motion-based recording. So being able to tie that event to a face appearing alarm is pretty powerful, because you're not going to have any false motion recordings. What Hanwha is doing is looking for the typical construction of a human face and alerting to that. So you'll actually know, hey, there is a person in a restricted area versus a potentially threatening shadow. So that's something we can do with Hanwha and some of the others as well. They also have audio analytics, so they can alert on glass break, screams, and aggression detection and gunshot. And then they also have a mask detection analytic. We don't have any, this is set to when people are not wearing a mask, so we don't have any alarms in the filter. People have been pretty good about wearing their masks in the office. But again, an example of technology that we never would have known we've needed prior to the pandemic, right? The ability to detect somebody not wearing a face mask or wearing a face mask. But innovators like Hanwha add it to their product. It becomes available as a firmware update. And then again, if you're a Hanwha Milestone customer, you can easily set up that event and alarm without having to plug additional hardware or complexity into your system. So it's pretty exciting to see what the camera side analytics are today and where they are going in the future. And Milestone will be there to support whatever our preferred partners will do in an effective way. On the subject of audio, I really like this solution from a company called Sound Intelligence. They're an ACAP partner, so they plug into the Axis camera. In this particular example, we've got an Axis microphone connected to an Axis camera, and then the Sound Intelligence you can see running live on the camera. It's analyzing the audio. It has glass break, aggression, gunshot. You can see there we trigger a glass break simulator. That unique sound signature is recognized by Sound Intelligence, and it generates an alarm. And this is a plugin you can get from Sound Intelligence for free, and it gives you a little extra data showing you the alarm event, the live feed surrounding nearby cameras, as well as more data on what to do when these alarm occurs. I'm going to try something here. Pull up that camera. So keep an eye on the spectrogram. I'm going to trigger an event. We'll see if this works. What this is going to do is it's going to tell our rules engine to play a clip off a nearby Axis speaker that Sound Intelligence provided us. And it's a clip that they knew would have a unique audio signature to actually display the Milestone logo on the spectrogram. So it kind of gives you an insight into how specialized they are in audio analytics. the fact that they even know how to generate a WAV file that would display a company's logo on their spectrogram. So again, Milestone just really believes in this open platform, working with best of breed, working with lead technology partners, helping them integrate into our product in an effective way, because we know we can't do all this ourselves. We're a core video-centric company. We want to give you that one pane of glass to interact with all this technology, but we want to leave the best to do what they're good at. So I showed you some of those real-time analytics, but those also cascade into our search functionality, which we've been pouring a lot of effort and research and development into. So this search framework came out in 2019 R3. So October 2019 is when this first launched. It replaced our Sequence Explorer, which is our prior thumbnail search engine. But I can pull up a camera, and the time signature is set to the last 2 hours. So I'm going to pull up the northwest corner camera. And what this has immediately done is, as soon as I've let go of the mouse, is it's pulled every time we have a recorded sequence in the last 2 hours between 10:41 Pacific and 12:41 Pacific, where I am. I'm in Portland, Oregon. And I can click one of those thumbnails, play back. I can scan through the thumbnails looking for vehicles of a certain color or type. Pretty effective, right? As far as searching. But I have 210 results to crawl through. So that's kind of annoying. What we've always done, and what every VMS can do, right, is a motion search. So I can apply a motion filter and say, hey, I'm not worried about the busy street. I just want to see vehicles in my parking lot, right? So that's cool. I've gone down from 210 results to 43 times there's vehicles in this area, but still pretty limited. So what if this Hanwha camera was artificially intelligent? It is. And what if it was feeding us metadata, but we weren't doing anything with it? We're actually collecting that metadata, and we have been, but every camera speaks a different language. So that's created complexity. But because Milestone's so open, they were able to write a search plugin, which we've opened up to our camera partners, that speaks the same language as their metadata, which we are collecting, we just can't read. But when you install this free Hanwha plugin, I know I'm getting a little too complicated here. Anyway, when you install this plugin, you can search through the metadata. So now I have this vehicle button. If I'm a Milestone Hanwha customer, I can install this plugin for free, and watch what happens when I click vehicle. You're going to see a lot more results. And that's because now it's parsing down to individual vehicles in the results, not recorded sequences. But now I can start to search by color and start to search by type. So say I'm just interested in red vehicles, for example. I can go from those 1,000 results to the 76 red vehicles. And you can see down here, I'm getting that data from Hanwha. It's a red car, and we're 95% sure it's a red sedan, SUV, or van. I can get rid of red. Say I'm just looking for a blue car. I can do that. 63 results. But I'm not just looking for a blue car, I'm looking for a blue truck. So you've got all those categories, and you can quickly pull them up. And you can see, a truck, blue, 75% likely. Is that a blue truck? It's more blackish, but again, it's a 60.8% likelihood. So you're getting much faster results, much more quickly. It doesn't always get it right, but it's so much faster to look through what you're trying to find. And what's great is in the upcoming rev of our product 2021 R1, which comes out June 29th, they'll be sorted by order of relevance. So it'll be the closest matching results at the top. And again, to do this type of searching, typically you have to lock yourself into a single vendor, or you have to have server-side licensed analytics running in the background. This is a free included benefit if you connect these Hanwha AI cameras to Milestone. And we can do similar things with Bosch as well. So I can pull up a Bosch camera, and they actually send us metadata in a format that we can search on natively in absence of plugin. So if I pull up the last 7 days from this interior camera, I'm going to get a ton of results. And some of those will include what I've mentioned earlier, right? The lighting changes causing motion and causing recording. But if I switch to just searching for people, what Milestone's now doing is just pulling up the results of when Bosch sent us metadata saying, yes, that's a human being in the scene. Reducing the amount of false alarms, not making me look at empty thumbnails with lighting changes or shadows, and just optimizing my search experience. So that's what's basic and included. But then if I want to do a more robust search, Bosch also has a plugin because not all the metadata they send is in that format we can talk to natively. So they went ahead and wrote a plugin just like Hanwha did. Bosch was actually first to market with their search plugin, and I can search all the analytics available on their camera. I can comb through the metadata and find the results after the fact. So I can look for an upright person, but now I only want to find people moving left to right or right to left, for example. I can do that after the fact. So I can just do a new line, say I'm only interested in people moving right to left in this area. And then I can even access the filters by object class. And I can even look for people wearing a certain color if I want to. I can set that filter and automatically get those results and reduce the amount to just the times people are going that one direction. Speeding up my search, improving my ability to investigate things faster. So I showed you we can do this real time, which is great, but the power of it as an investigatory tool is pretty incredible as well. And now I know that was a few steps, and I've done this a few times, right? I know these plugins very well. But in this search framework, you can actually store your templates. You can save and store your templates to execute them quickly. Oftentimes we have problem areas, things that we're searching repeatedly. So I can actually open my stored searches and it really can grab every detail you want. So I'll do my Bosch find red vehicle search here. What it's done is it's pulled in my filter of the last 7 days of recording, the parking lot camera that I want to search. And that was 1 click or 2 clicks to pull that search in. And now I just hit set filter. And it's already done the job for me of saying, hey, I'm looking for trucks or cars in this area in the color red. So just 1, 2, 3 clicks, and I can get to a past search and pull in the times that there's been red vehicles in the parking lot from the Bosch camera, saving myself the time and energy of having to build those searches myself. And since we oftentimes have common areas that we're searching, this can be a powerful tool. So this might be my home network here, but we should get something shortly. Key point here was we're investing in this index. The cameras are getting smarter and they can find more and more data each day. And Axis is going to be part of the search experience natively shortly. Their upcoming cameras with the deep learning chipsets are going to be able to feed us metadata about object classification, and we'll be able to start filtering through results from Axis devices here in the short term as well. So there might not have been red vehicles. There we go. So it had to go all the way back to May 13th, of course. So that's why it took so long. It starts with the most recent recordings. So thanks for waiting for me there. But it's pretty slick to be able to go back in time like that and pull that metadata from the camera. So moving from there to the server-based analytics. Partners like Briefcam, who have been in the game since we have, right? 20+ years of video analytic experience. So it's pretty incredible what they can do. So the plugin between Briefcam and Milestone couldn't be better. I can actually execute creating a video synopsis right from the toolbar of our smart client, excuse me. I can create a case with that quick button. You can see we can do real-time alerts with Briefcam as well. So that's something that we didn't have in the past. Sure, you could process video after the fact. You could look for bicycles, but you couldn't do it real time. So their respond module now allows real-time classification alerts. So anytime a bicycle is detected by their software, we can pull it in here. Again, we've got a server with a GPU that's doing this processing for us real time. But I'll show you as I proceed in my demo how they can go way beyond what a camera can do. Also, facial recognition, right? Really challenging to do that with the resources available to a camera. Infinitely difficult thing to do well just in general. But here you can see we've got facial recognition going. And it's even throughout the pandemic been able to accurately classify the few individuals we have enrolled, despite the fact that they're wearing a face mask. So just the eyes and kind of the bridge of the nose, they've been very accurate. It's been really impressive. I can't even think of false alarms, to be honest. And then no mask detected. They were one of the first. They beat Hanwha to the punch, if I'm not mistaken here, introducing the ability to detect somebody not wearing a mask and allowing us to set up that proactive alert should we want to, right? This is luckily quickly not going to be a problem anymore. But again, it's an example of innovation. Who's going to be able to deliver that functionality quicker to you as a customer if you need it or want it short term? You know, a company trying to do everything themselves is an end-to-end, or somebody like Milestone that works with partners and leaders in innovation, but gives you that seamless, unified experience to interact with the technology. So that's the pitch on why we're sticking true to the open platform. So that's all great, but then I can go to the Briefcam tab, and you've already seen this northwest corner. So their original technology was this video synopsis. So what I'm about to play here is 8 hours from this camera. And you'll see what Briefcam can do is take all the events the camera's seen in those 8 hours on May 7th and compress it to a 15-minute clip. And what this 5201 is telling you is that there's 5,201 unique things that a Briefcam has seen. And this was their first product. This is all you could do, and then you would fast forward it, you know, and look for the object of interest that was part of your investigation. And then if you wanted to, you could select it. You could play the original video or conduct an investigation. But then they got smarter and they got more resources, you know, like GPU to start processing it and adding more filters. And that's when you see on the right-hand side, I can start to whittle it down to objects of a certain class. Say I want to know, hey, you know, there was a report of a missing child during these 8 hours. Can you show me the times there's been a child in the scene? So once I apply that filter, you can see there's only 6 times somebody meeting that requirement has been part of the search. So now all you have to do is watch 29 seconds of video to find the object of interest. And then I'll just give a real use case for their software. So here is a city of Hartford, Connecticut. There was a suspected drug house in this scene. I'm going to play this clip, and you've got a lot of activity going on. The city of Hartford, the detective that used Milestone and told this story, said normally he would have to stake out this place for 12 hours, put himself in harm's way, sit up on one of the buildings with binoculars and a granola bar and a sleeping bag, and do an investigation in order to get enough evidence for a warrant. But with this, they used a publicly available city cam. They processed the video through Briefcam, and they were able to show initially, you know, the paths of travel. All right, so once I do a visual layer here, you'll see they can also overlay data in addition to just being able to go through video synopsis and that cool classification of objects and that overlay. So here we can see the paths of travel. So obviously the street is the busiest, but if I filter this to people traffic and then hit apply, we can see where the people are walking once it reprocesses. So that's kind of suspicious. There's 100 objects of interest, people moving back and forth between these 2 homes. And that's even better illustrated by their little path icon, where you can actually see the people walking. So there's a lot of use cases for this beyond security. I just know this story, so I like to tell this one. But there's a lot of applications, you know, for in retail where you can use this data for non-security purposes to improve your operations and your. Let me get rid of common paths. That's what I wanted to do. So I can do this path thing, and I can draw an arrow, and that's when you can actually see all the people that flood into this house. Basically what the detective did, he took this quick clip, right, 6 minutes, showing the 82 people that walk into that house and said that's not normal. We got the warrant and we're able to shut it down. So that's an example of being able to use this to more quickly investigate and keep people safe. So again, I haven't left XProtect, and that's why we're really proud of the partners we work with, the platform we built to allow people to write plugins that work seamlessly with the normal investigations, live viewing, and playback, and alarm acknowledgement that our customers are doing. Right, let me go back to live. So we're also working with Agent VI, and they've been a partner since I joined Milestone in 2010 as well. Same thing, we can do the real-time alerts with them, line crossing. We're getting bounding boxes from Agent VI as well that we can ingest into our platform. People and bike detected, stopped vehicle alerts. But again, they've got every type of analytic you could imagine. And again, seamlessly plugging into XProtect, whether you're wanting to do live alerting or going back and searching as well. So if I go to the Innovi tab, I can sign into their portal. And I can show you some of their dashboards and things that Briefcam also has, but it's just a really nice plugin that they've also written into XProtect. Oh, there it is. So here I can pull up that that northwest corner, which we're all getting familiar with, and I can see the dashboards, the amount of events, the people, the bicycles. And then if I go to monitor mode, it's got a nice slick kind of thumbnail engine showing where we've seen the people, where they've been moving, and then you can do investigations right from here as well. So never having to leave the Milestone platform and being able to take advantage of industry leaders is the claim to fame here, to help you hopefully bridge that gap and go from being proactive, or go from being reactive, excuse me, to being proactive with your surveillance system. So thanks for taking the time to join me today. It's been a pleasure to be part of the Convergint Insight event. I hope this was worth your time. And again, the open platform gives you the ultimate freedom and flexibility. And if you're looking to take advantage of the latest in innovation in video analytics, please contact Milestone or one of our partners so that we can help you. There was a question. So it's open architecture permitting plugins. Absolutely. Our SDK is freely downloadable and available on our website. We do very little to control who downloads it. We offer support to make sure people have the help they need to write the integrations they want. We have a whole team of people devoted to our technology partners, excuse me, and we can certify their solution too to make sure it works well. But yeah, the SDK is free. There's reference guides, and whether you want to write a search plugin or a workspace plugin, which is what we call these tabs that Briefcam and Innovi have, you've got plenty of support and guidance to do so and ensure it works well. Yeah. The example in somebody gave a comment that the drug house example is incredible, wishes they had that in their days in law enforcement. I'm sure there's a lot of, if you could hear that detective from Hartford talk about how Milestone and Briefcam and partners like Live Earth and ShotSpotter came together to help him protect his city. It was very inspiring. He did it at our partner event MIPS several years ago, and it was pretty impressive. Well, it doesn't look like there's any more questions. Again, thanks for joining me and seeing the open platform in action. Take care, everyone. Bye now.